Greetings and salutations, everyone. Here is Andrew Rollins, and you're taking brother all the way to Switzerland. And I'm reaching out to all of my brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Black Hot Fire Radio.
You're now listening to the best music. 1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment.
If you don't say anything when you do, they must come make it. So anything you do,
Welcome to Let's Pop with Irit on this beautiful Friday, 4th of April or April 4th. Welcome to Let's Pop with Irit on the Black Hot Fire Radio Network, media of the 21st century, this beautiful, magical afternoon, morning, wherever you're at. Hope you've been having a great week, and how's April taking you along? Vulnerable Bear banging it over and over and over. But remember, you can download our app on the Google Play Store, stream on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com for amazing healthy supplements, apparel, clothing with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it. You can download the app if you're using the Android device. But if you're using the iPhone, stream on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com for amazing awakening conversations. Also, as I said earlier, we have beanie hats, t-shirts, sandals, lights, and also we do have bags right now with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it, representing the awakening Ubuntu and the fact that I am because you are. But download the app, follow us on other social media platform for amazing awakening conversation that you can only find here on the Black Hot Fire Radio Network.
Different things that popping in skates and packaging. In our night for shows and juggling. Floating in the ocean, boat and paddling. Shana Bella, that's my bro, my family. Gross and tricks. When it comes to money, I can concentrate. Because I tell you straight, you are not my bitch. If you become shit, you'll be left off stage. But nothing to do with
Feel the freshness. You're tuning into Black Hot Fire Radio.
You're now listening to the best music. 1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Here is Andrew Rollins, and you're taking brother all the way to Switzerland. And I'm reaching out to all of our brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Black Hot Fire.
You're now listening to the best music.
Welcome to Let's Talk with Airchance this beautiful afternoon again. I hope you're doing better. Hope you're having a great day, a great month of April full of magical rainbows and pixels. Remember, you are the creator of your life. Just take each day at a time. Before we move forward with the conversation of the day, remember, you can download our app on the Google Play Store, stream on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. Also, follow us on Patreon and Rumble for amazing conversation that you can only find here on the Black Hot Fire Radio Network. We have supplements, so I'm going to play a video of some of the supplements we do have to give you a hint of what you should definitely be looking forward to on our website.
Beetroot, nature's powerhouse. Packed with vitamins, antioxidants, and nitrates, it's known to support heart health, boost stamina, and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried, and finely ground to preserve their rich nutrition content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie, or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure, and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
For $20.90, super affordable. Get yourself some supplement, drinks lots of water, eats vegetables and fruit to keep yourself super healthy because you have a purpose to fulfill and we have a life to enjoy. And health is super important. Health is your wealth. I was watching Shay and we had Damon Wayans talking about health. And I'm going to play a video of how he's talking about the fact that we should actually be healthy. And I know us right now, mostly in the United States, their food is not really healthy. They have seedless grapes. Everything is just not really good, and it's affecting a lot of us, mostly the African Americans, because we're super different. Our immune system is super different from other races. We have Damon Wayans giving a hint of why we should definitely eat healthy, and I know everybody out there, it's a priority. You are what you eat. So you have to look into your diet and be careful of whatever you're putting into your mouth, into your stomach. As I almost said stomach, into your stomach, because it's going to affect how you're going to live and actually affect how maybe long you're going to live. Because back in the time, our ancestors used to actually eat super healthy. We didn't have a lot of things that have been intoxicated. Our foods are not intoxicated. Right now, everything is genetically modified and it's hard to find super healthy stuff. Talk about fruits, even anything that is actually growing from the ground, because even the genetically modified seeds, name it, it's actually affecting our soil. And if it affects our soil, and if you get something that is super healthy or seeds that are naturally growing organically, it might take some time because the soil has already been intoxicated.
But did
the
Jackson 5?
That's I mean, for a family member, that's off limits, Damon.
No, but it wasn't like they were in love.
So he dated her.
Do you know how small the pool is out here in Cali?
Yes.
The dating pool. And this was probably 2001.
It's just a starter, but the conversation of the day is a very British way of torture. But I'm going to start this in regards to our health and benefits to keep us on check in regards to what we're eating.
That's you. I was like, okay, pass the kielbasa. And it was okay.
I would just have to let her go.
Nah, you see it, you understand. And she cooked. She went to cordon bleu.
What?
Mm-hmm.
She got
And the other things. While she cooked.
I do not approve this method. You have type 2 diabetes. How's that
Yes. How's it going?
going? Yeah. I mean, how do you,
It's like my club foot.
you
No, it's good. I
did you always have diabetes, or you developed it
I
over
got
the
it
years?
in 2017.
How?
I don't know. It's in
It's in your family genes.
Here's what I'm learning because I have freestyle Libre, which helped
checks.
change my life, right? And what it is we eat stuff and you don't know what's good or how your body is
Gonna
breaking
react
it
to it.
down, right?
Mhm.
So this gives me, I got the glucose monitor and I can look at it and I know where I'm at all times.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I walked into the hospital. I felt delirious. My sugar was at 535.
Ooh.
Supposed to be between 80 and 120.
You about to go into a diabetic coma.
That's what he said. So I tell Keenan, and Keenan's like, okay, you got to change your diet. You know, what do you mean? Because, well, if you don't eat sugar, you won't have a sugar problem.
Mm.
Right? Life changing. So he goes through my cabinets and stuff, and you're going to throw away this, you're going to throw away this. Ketchup got sugar. Everything I like got sugar.
It does.
And I was like, wow. So then I'm like, I still had to take insulin. You know, you're taking 5-6 units with every meal. I'm like, I don't want to do this. Sticking your finger to prick.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like, I don't. But what I found out having this glucose monitor is if I lift weights, heavier weights, then my sugar goes down all day, and especially legs. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing that go when you get older, you stop doing the legs.
Yeah.
You think walking is working your legs out. Oh, I walked 3 miles. It don't mean nothing.
In order for a muscle to grow, you got to put it under stress.
That part. You know, they say there's a part of your brain that only grows when you do stuff you don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And athletes tend to have the most developed part of their brain.
Mm-hmm.
And this part of your brain has to do with discipline, self-control, stick-to-itiveness, you know. And so I'm trying to develop that.
Talking about health and benefits, you can definitely download our app on the Google Play Store and stream on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com for you to get yourself amazing healthy supplements, the like of ashwagandha, beetroot, and health is super important. Super, super important. So I'm going to play a short video of some of the supplements we do have to actually make you understand the importance of your health. Drinking lots of water, vegetables and fruits also are super, super important.
Fuel your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just 1 tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition store.
$32.90. You can get also our apparel clothing with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it. Today's topic is a very British way of torture. And today we're going to be talking about how this is actually had happened at the time, mostly in Kenya, the British way of torture, the colonialism that took place, and the fact that there was a group that came together, the Mau Mau, to fight against colonialism, right? And also, I've been watching House of Cards, and it talks some. I don't watch series, first of all. I don't watch movies at all. But House of Cards is very interesting. It's about politics and how the globalists rule the world, or basically how they stay at the top, right? And I'm going to have to play a snippet of that video right away before we go to the main conversation right away. And it gets you thinking of how everything is controlled, mostly in governments. Everything is controlled. Everything is a front. It's not what you think it is. They will tell you what you want to hear, but it's about them always staying at the top, always being in power, always controlling and putting the dice together where it definitely benefits them. We always talk about this here about our African leaders. They are the puppets, and the globalists will always be in power because they have people to play their game here in Africa.
You think you're free? You think you really have a choice? Spare me the fairy tale. Here is the secret. They don't need chains when they have screens. They don't need whips when they have fear. They let you choose what they already picked for. Your leaders selected. Your options controlled. Your freedom a well crafted.
Share your screen there, John?
So tell
Sorry, you can't see it? No? Okay, I think I'm definitely sharing the screen. Just a moment.
There's another. You got 2 pages open. There
Okay,
you go.
okay. I'm gonna start that again.
you think you're free? You think you really have a choice? Spare me the fairy tale. Here is the secret. They don't need chains when they have screens. They don't need whips when they have fear. They let you choose what they already picked for. Your leaders selected. Your options controlled. Your freedom a well-crafted illusion. So tell me, are you really free or just comfortable?
House of Cards, amazing. I'm loving it every bit. It's just giving you the perspective of everything that we always talk about it here, about what Mr. Newsom always educates us on regarding the global world and who's ruling the world and how they play their games. Makes you actually understand how everything is definitely works. And the fact that you see politicians always trying to tell you what you want to hear is because they want to tell you what you want to hear. They don't give a crap about you. They will never give a crap about you. And I believe there's so much hope because of Ibrahim Traore. If we have people like him, and for him, he doesn't actually talk about it, he's more about doing it for you to see. But we have a lot of people in leadership who will make promises, but they'll never deliver. House of Cards gives you a deeper perspective of how the world runs.
The world isn't fair. It never has been. But fairness is a story we tell the naive to keep them in line. The truth? Power doesn't belong to those who deserve it. It belongs to those who use it. And that, my friend, is the willingness to do what others won't.
I'm sorry?
Oh, you got this old TV show. Okay. House of Cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. Yeah. I think that show came out like 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's amazing because I don't watch TV. I think I told you that. I don't watch series. I don't. But I went and I ran into this. I think I saw a post on Instagram about the short reel, and I'm like, what is this? And then I remembered I was watching something a few years ago, and in that clip, someone was talking about House of Cards, and I'm like, House of Cards, really interesting. And then I went back to the other post, and he talks more about how the globalists control the world. And it's very, very interesting. For me, it gives me a perspective of how actually things really, really run because it's a
Okay.
whole series of how things happen deeply and how you see people is not actually who they appear to be.
Fair. It never has been. But fairness is a story we tell the naive to keep them in line. The truth? Power doesn't belong to those who deserve it. It belongs to those who seize it. And that, my friend, requires a willingness to do what others won't. If you are not following House of Cards, you may never see us again. The world isn't
Yeah, if you're in love, or not in love, if you're interested in politics and everything, please watch House of Cards. I'm actually watching it right now, and I feel more supervisor every time I watch it in regards to everything we're talking about right now, but now they're acting it, how everything goes down. So it's very interesting. Welcome, Mr. Newsom. How you doing again?
I'm good. How are you here, Tom?
I am peaceful. I am happy.
All right. That's what's up.
Yes, we're going to be talking about a conversation, a very British way of torture. And this is regarding the Mau Mau in Kenya and how everything went down during the colonial season, right? And it gives us a perspective of how people fought the war in Kenya against the anti-colonial Mau Mau movement and how that went down. And also we're going to be talking more about Macron. I believe actually Zach Mwekes, I think he ran into the video, or basically he knew about the coming of Macron in Kenya. And he's asking, is Kenya going down? Because we know what Macron does when he goes to each and every country. And I've shared a video of Natalie Tham here a couple of times talking about this. And I believe if we see this in other videos, because Zach Marquez is amazing in his videos about awakening and enlightening people, he's also giving us a perspective about that. And also we have Ibrahim Traore rejecting second-hand clothes from the United States of America. And also,
About time.
yeah, for sure. We have the last kings of Mali and the fascinating history of Africa's remaining monarchs. So let's listen in fast to a brief conversation of the British colonialism in Kenya.
Right? Siemens 21 soft sticks. When I was growing up in the 1950s in Kenya, I just had this sort of slightly true blue, effect that, basically the Brits did things the right way. We thought the sort of British Empire, all these red countries on the map, looked great, I presumed that we British, we were the good guys, and we were trying to beat the bad guys. But then later...
I don't know why I don't believe him, Mr. Newsom. I don't believe him at all.
Well, how could you be a big good guy stealing people's land and subjugating?
Yeah.
That's all.
You presumed...
But they do. A lot of them evil bastards, they do believe that. They believe they got the right. They're psychopaths. They believe they have the right to your land, to your women, and to whatever yours. And you're supposed to serve them. They believe that, Erica. Today, they still believe that. What?
I'm thinking, I'm like, how do you presume, like, you guys were doing the right way of things in Kenya? Grabbing people's land, torturing people. So he presumed the Brits came to Kenya to save us, literally.
Save you from what? Save you from what? You saying save you from what? Save you from your wealth?
That's what he
save you from your land? Save you from what?
Save us from our freedom?
Yeah, save.
So the fact that he's starting this video saying that, hey, I presume the Brits were actually doing the right things here in Africa, please.
Yeah, stealing your stuff.
When I was growing up in the 1950s in Kenya, I just had this sort of slightly true blue, effect that, basically...
And also I don't believe him because I know he has land in Kenya. Lots of lands of acres.
Of course. That was stolen.
Yeah, you want to come up here on this video and be the good guy, but no.
Basically, the Brits did things the right way. We thought the sort of British Empire, all these red countries on the map, looked great, I presumed that we British, we were the good guys, and we were trying to beat the bad.
No, it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right at all.
Bad guys. But then later, I discovered that when we came to our own struggle here, that wasn't quite true.
The Mau Mau uprising is an armed freedom movement that takes place in Kenya in the 1950s. It is one of the most violent armed struggles in the British Empire.
The battle cry was land and freedom.
The goal of the Mau Mau was to reclaim the African land, she says.
Exactly. Land that was so exactly. Hey, you find they brought you to Jesus but stole all your wealth. You got their Jesus now, but now they got all your wealth.
He says the British guys was saying before that video played, when it came to their own struggle, that's when he had an awakening, maybe that they were doing the wrong thing, because the Mau Mau rose and started fighting for their land.
Their land. How you get to come? How you get to come to my country every time still on my stuff? And say you're helping me.
Yeah.
You're helping me, but you're still on my stuff.
So wicked.
Atrocities. But it's the colonial side that has often been ignored by historians.
The British might say they don't do torture, but we, the Mau Mau people, have gone through their torture. For the first time, the release of new documents has given us a very much fuller account as to what had been done and why and how the British had tried to justify it.
And now, because of the new documentation, historians in Britain and in Kenya, they're investigating how the British atrocities were institutionalized and they were known from the top in London.
Of course they knew about it. They knew about it. It was all planned out.
All the way down into Kenya.
It really flips the script as to who is uncivilized.
And that's why I believe land before colonization, land belonged to everybody. If nobody was in fear of losing their land or their property. But after colonization, that's why a lot of people grabbed lots of land, even like Kenyans or our ancestors name the people we know in government. People just grabbed land because maybe of the fear of their return or something like that, because we didn't have anybody scrambling for that or for land before colonization.
When the British decided to leave Kenya in '63, they took with them more than 1,500 government files, all marked top secret. Over the next 40, 50 years, these documents were spirited away and hidden in a facility known as Hanslope Park, linked to GCHQ, which is used by MI5, MI6, hidden in plain sight. And when you tried to request these documents, you were told that they didn't exist.
They are in their 70s and 80s now, but they travelled thousands of miles from their homes in rural Kenya, seeking justice they say is more than half a century overdue.
I was involved in the Mau Mau legal case in 2011-2012 as an expert witness, and a request by the court in the Mau Mau case brought the Hanslope disclosure to light. However, the British government deliberately settled the case out of court in order to avoid a full hearing where the details of what had happened would be rehearsed. They knew it. They wanted only to deny.
This means power is not given to the people who deserve it, but you seize it. You take it. You don't ask for it. You literally take it.
And therefore, only a very small fraction of the documents were actually used. And it's only now, several years on, we've had time to look at these documents more closely, that we can really begin to tell you what those documents reveal.
In 1952, Kenya was a colony of
It still is, right now. Still is.
Of the British. It had been a colony since 1920 officially, sort of overseen by the Colonial Office in the UK.
So the reality
Yeah, people were literally controlling our economic, not even literally, you can see it, our political, economic, and social sectors. It's our neo-colonization or colonialism right away.
Is the British came here to take stuff, not to help us out.
We have a group of white settlers with hundreds, some even thousands of acres of land, living very lavish, hedonistic lives at the cost of the people who work for them.
The British got a little bit greedy and we wanted more land. Right?
Yep, over 100,000 Kenyan settlers were actually put together in tribal colonies.
In 1952, Kenya was a colony of the British. It had been a colony since 1920 officially, sort of overseen by the Colonial Office in the UK. So the reality is the British came here to take stuff, not to help us out.
We have a group of white settlers with hundreds, some even thousands of acres of land, living very lavish, hedonistic lives at the cost of the people who work for them.
The British got a little bit greedy and we wanted more land. Right? Yeah. Kwandika kwa mushara matekwaririria na mundu angirega wira akathia kongwa ni athungu.
If you did not call a settler Bwana, you have committed a crime and you are allowed to be put in prison for that reason. And that's why
they had to crush you and make you feel like you're inferior, to make you feel like you don't have any power, basically crush you to nothing. And that's what they did. The torture that a lot of our ancestors went through, the torture they had to actually persevere from and to actually get back our land, get back the freedom that they got at the time.
Said no, this is not to continue. I must join those people who are fighting for liberation of our country.
Right, because you understand this is your land that rightfully belongs to you, and someone comes in and takes it by force, and then you have to be under them, working day and night. What are you working for? To make themselves feel better because now they have power or supreme over you, and that can actually make someone actually do anything. I believe the Mau Mau had to step up to actually fight to reclaim their land that rightfully belonged to them. And at the beginning of the video, as it was starting, they said that a lot of historians actually, or whatever the Mau Mau did in regards to, they forced to reclaim their land back. It's not what is actually been circulating. It's the other way round. But we're going to be talking about Burkina Faso and the fact that Ibrahim Traoré rejects second-hand clothes from America.
This is crazy. You know we got to talk, okay? We've got to talk. Ibrahim Traoré is going to ban second-hand clothes. These are information we got right now. It is very interesting. Second-hand clothes, you're probably asking yourself, second-hand clothes? Yes. Many African countries still have second-hand clothes coming from the United
States. It's a lot everywhere. It's like Kenya or Africa is a dumping place for second-hand clothes. And I'm glad Ibrahim Traoré says no to this.
Instead of America and Europe. And Ibrahim Traoré, this very great African leader, yes, he's very great. He is. He's about to ban second-hand clothes. No more second clothes in Burkina Faso. Congratulations. I'm going to clap them hands.
And I know you're going to do the same. I appreciate you. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You're at the right place. You want to know about Nigeria, Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, you're in the right place. Today, it's not going to be different because sometimes we do bash each other, right? Sometimes we say things that are very harsh to one another, but it's family. We understand that. There is no venom behind it. It's all about the good we all try.
What Ibrahim Traore literally has been doing the whole time is he's been trying to get people to understand their power and their identity through his leadership. Everything he's doing is actually reviving a lot of Africans' esteem back to their true heritage and understanding who they are.
Trying to find solutions. We're trying to progress and move forward. And sometimes, like in a family, when somebody doing something wrong, you can beat him up. I remember I was still a child. Well, maybe not a child, maybe a teenager. Is a teenager a child? Not really. Okay. I was disrespectful to one of my older sisters. I came from work. Sorry, not work. No. I came from school, coming back home very hungry. And I was hungry. I looked at my sister and I was like, where's food? You in this house, there's no food when people come back from. We used to come back from school at around 2 p.m. And I was like, where's the food? I was about like, I was a teenager. My sister looked at me. She was doing fish. In some African countries, you make fish, like raw fish. You don't buy it from the shop already made. It's not very clean. Okay, it doesn't smell good.
Can you imagine if we have not even 10 leaders like Ibrahim Traore literally helping or actually trying to instill that facet of our identity back through his leadership? I know the Nigerian president actually said no, or actually passed the bill on April 1st regarding the visa. Every U.S. citizen needs a visa or a tourist to come into Namibia or travel to Namibia. So we'll see how that goes. And anything she's going to enforce will be following up on that. But the fact that
that's only small stuff. He needs to go back and get the land that was stolen by the Caucasians that are living in the country. If you ever looked it up, 80% of the land owned by, that was stolen by the Caucasians when they invaded Namibia. That land was never given back. The president that died before said it's probably going to be a war pretty soon because you just stole this land from these young Africans. Don't want to keep hearing wait to get our land back that these white people stole, and they're ones living in Africa, living all good off our land. They don't want to keep hearing that no more. So probably going to be a civil war. Those youth are going to take those lands back that were stolen.
She was working on fish. She came to me like, why are you talking to me like this? Did you leave a domestic worker here to work for you? I'm like, we're going to school and we come with no food. She just held me here and put her hand in my face like this with the fish in her hand. Jeez, I was upset and I was looking at her, I was staring at her like I'm going to do something. Now, this is my older sister. I have brothers too. My brothers are younger than this sister. My brother, they came for me. They picked me up. They said, you are disrespecting our older sister. So they couldn't beat me in the house because
Ibrahim Traore is really trying to instill the African self-esteem back by his leadership. That's what he's trying to do, and it's amazing because you can see how his people love him so much because it's the audacity of, I know who we are. I know how the land was or Africa was, and he's trying that by every means. And I'm so glad he's actually rejected the invitation to the White House because all the other leaders will actually teleport themselves to the White House directly, But he said, no, I have business to handle in Burkina Faso. Why can you not come and see me yourself if you want to see me? It has to be the other way around, not according to Ibrahim Traore.
My parents were very protective over me, so they couldn't do that. They took me out of the house. They picked me up. My brothers picked me up, took me to the corner. That's where they beat me up and disciplined me. Do not disrespect our older sister anymore. That's how we proceed in some areas in Africa. Anyway, let's get back on track. Burkina Faso is basically banning second-hand clothes. I know a lot of Africans who have experienced second-hand clothes have bought a lot of it. Like, some of them will even lie to you, like, this one came from Europe. Yeah, it's
Yeah, and someone won it before they actually brought it here.
came from Europe, just not the
Before it
way
was shipped to Africa, someone wore that outfit like a million times.
you think it came from Europe. It was sent by NGOs. So what happened?
And it shows you how they actually perceive you by always shipping secondhand clothes to Africa.
Police,
Right.
NGOs to
Exactly.
house. You know,
Yeah, it's like, yeah, leftover of whatever
It's disrespectful. Old people clothes, old clothes, discarded clothes for people who died.
There's Nikes. Oh my gosh.
asking for clothes. Like, do you have any clothes that you want to send to poor people in Africa? Because
That's what they say.
they estimate that Africans are poor. You see that picture of that little boy with a big stomach and flies flying around his face, suffering wars and stuff. Yeah, that's the image many people, unfortunately, in the West and North Africa. So when they think of Africa, they think there's no water, there's no electricity, there's wars, everybody's got HIV and stuff like that. So
if someone is intimidated by you, intimidated by your identity, they'll do everything to tarnish your name, your identity. They'll do everything for you to be irrelevant, for them to stay at the top. Anything. And that's what has been happening.
they feel like, okay, let's help these poor Africans. Let's send them clothes so they can dress up and not be naked and stop wearing those, leaves and stuff from the trees. I mean, a lot of Africans wear leaves still today, but like I got my leaves I wear from time to time. Just today, some of the time when I would have to be on camera, I have to be so I can look good. Anyway, now these clothes come into Africa through NGOs. However, NGOs don't distribute the clothes to people for free. These supposedly NGOs that you hear about come and sell these clothes in Africa at a very competitive price. This is not even cheap to say, okay, we're helping Africans. Absolutely not. Now, many African countries have come together and say, you know what, we don't want this anymore. We don't want second-hand clothes because of hygienic.
Can Kenya join in, please? And Uganda, can you join in the team?
Exactly, because hygienic reason, all kind of dirty butthole.
Yeah.
Man.
They should definitely join this pact. I don't know why our government is not even talking about it in regards to anything that is supposed to.
Because they're forced to keep those clothes.
I know that, and they're benefiting from maybe the money that they're getting from this.
Exactly.
Reasons. I mean, somebody can just shit in his pants and
yeah, shit on everything I'm gonna say. All kind of doodle up in that stuff. Exactly right. All kind of doodle and period blood, wherever they get, man. I'm not.
That is so disgusting. Family, know your identity, know your worth. You don't deserve second-hand clothes.
Well, we're not wearing that stuff in America. That's not. We're not wearing none of that. We're not wearing none of that shit in America. That's Africa.
Parents were made to think that they need this, but you never did need this ever.
Hey, Annabelle, check my shitty pants and put it in the basket.
Why are you laughing, Mr. Anderson?
I'm gonna take my shitty pants and put them in the basket.
I'll play that for you again.
Just shit in his pants. Just put, hey, Annabelle, check my shitty pants and put it in the basket. Because some kid in Africa.
Exactly, because it's the disrespect. I just
suffering. You know what I mean? No, we don't suffer like that.
We don't suffer like that. Never had, never have. Literally, understanding Africa is the cradle of life, full of abundance in every way. Because people were exploring, as we are also told, and they saw how much Africa had enough of everything and how welcoming and kind Africans are and loving and, supportive in every way. And that's how they were tricked, because they were super kind, super welcoming, and they're like, come in. come into my house. Welcome to the land of abandoned. And sooner or later, when you open your eyes, you don't own anything.
I respect you trying to be nice, but no, not like that. So unfortunately, clothes come sometimes with shit inside. I'm just being honest with you. I've bought second-hand clothes, so I know. A lot of you guys have bought even underwear second-hand. I've bought underwear second-hand. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not gonna front. You know me. I'm for real, as real as it gets. But I was young. I didn't know. That's what I knew. You want some quality clothes? You're gonna go to the market when they're selling second-hand clothes. You buy. Some of my
As I said earlier, your enemy will make you feel like you're irrelevant, like you don't deserve anything good, to make himself feel powerful. And as I said earlier, they'll do everything. If someone is intimidated by you, they'll do everything for them to stay relevant, to stay at the top. So they have to do whatever they have to do, because if we understand our identity, if we go back to relearning and learning about our history, you will definitely have that momentum of your ego rising up and understanding your heritage. That's where the twist is, because they don't want you to learn about your heritage, about who you were. And that's why it's so hard. If you don't research about your identity, mostly the African identity, it's not always being showcased on the internet, on the TV, on Netflix. No, they're not going to put it out there for you, because you're going to be so interested about this. Your mind is going to open. You'll start questioning everything, everything. And that'll raise the momentum of a lot of Africans getting back on their feet to basically reclaim their identity, their land, their social, political, economic sector.
For my friends, when we were becoming adolescents, we wanted to buy nice quality stuff. So we bought secondhand stuff, even secondhand underpants, boxes that some dude somewhere in America sent to Africa because it looks good. When you want to be next to your girlfriend, you want to look good. You don't want to wear Chinese underwear. You don't look good. I'm sorry. Now, African nations say they don't want this anymore. Why? There's a fly in the house. Flies are everywhere, not just in Africa, right? Anyway, and when there's flies, it means there's life.
Isn't it funny because flies are everywhere? And also, is it funny or rhetoric? Because we have a lot of homeless people in the United States. There's this video that I saw, and there's a place in the United States full of homeless people, a lot of them, but they don't showcase that on the media. They want you to see the good side of it. But it's in Africa where we have a lot of people traveling to Africa taking videos of places where people are trying to survive. They don't showcase what's really happening on the good side of Nairobi, the good side of Kampala, the good side of Nigeria. But also on their side, they're not going to show you what's really happening in the United States of America, what's really happening in Europe, the dark side of it, the other side of it, because they have to stay on the top.
Anyway, let's continue.
And they have to sell you this fantasy that Africa is not a good place to live in. For you to have a better life, better opportunity, you have to leave your country. You have to travel to the United States. You have to travel to Europe. But until you get there, that's when you start experiencing the real life of the other side of these countries.
The African nations have come together in many places saying we don't want to sit anymore. Okay, I'll give you an example. The East African community, which is Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and some other countries, all these countries here, have imported about $1.50 million worth of used clothes in 2015 only. That's the importation. That's not the price that people have paid. Now, these African countries came to a moment, they say, you know what, we actually want to develop our own textile company, our textile industry. We want Africans to invest into textile so they can sell to the Africans, so we can be independent. You know what happened? Do you know what happened? Can you guess?
They don't want us to ever be independent. That's the plot twist. They don't want us to be ever independent, and that's why Iran True right now, a lot of people are scared of him. The globalists are scared of him because he's awakening a lot of Africans. We have the Arabian leaders coming to him to build mosques in his country, 200 of them. He said, we don't need mosques. We need better amenities, hospitals, schools. Why do we need mosques? Because religion has been used as a weapon of control, right? Mostly in Africa. So he's a threat. He's a threat.
Threatened. by America. Big brother America. You do not do that. If you do that, you ban our second-hand clothes that come through NGOs to help you. We are going to kick you away from AGOA. What is AGOA? AGOA is the African Growth Opportunity Act, which is an opportunity that gives many African nations an opportunity to go sell their stuff, whatever export there. Let's say your country sells a lot of potatoes or tomatoes.
Understanding that everything is monetary for the globalists, everything they come up with. So if we say no to secondhand clothes, saying no to exporting our minerals, our crops, our tea and coffee, it's not going to work for them, right? But they have to instill war in Africa because if we're not united, not at peace, their country is developing, they're doing better, everything is cocktailing, rainbows and pixels for them. But if we come together, there's peace, there's harmony, there's Ubuntu. Their world, their economic sector, their social, political, name it, is gonna flop. And that's why they have to do everything to keep us impoverished, stagnated, the fact that we need help and look up to them. But I'm glad that the youths, as they always say, are super woke regarding what's really happening in the political world. Most importantly, because everything is connected. Your everyday life is connected to the political world.
Matter. You can send them to America and be sold at a very cheap price. That's AGOA for you. Now, AGOA is supposed to be there to help African nations. However, they say we are also helping you by bringing you second-hand clothes.
But as I started the video, I played House of Cards, and they said something really, really important. Everything is a face front. It's a front. So they have to come up with US aid. They have to come up with all this organization in the name of helping, in the name of making you be a better country. Didn't need help from you to be a better country. We've been better countries. We've been doing better before you all came to put up the act of NGOs, but they have to put it there. Remember, it's always about making you feel better and also telling you what you want to hear, right? Because we've been indoctrinated in the mind in regards to like Africa is poor, Africa needs help, Africa needs the world to save, or the world needs to save Africa. So that's what has been imprinted into our mindset since. But it's a lie. It's a lie.
Because you're not authorized to say no to the help we're bringing you. Because, oh, by the way, you still have to pay for the second-hand clothes. They're not free. Now, if you choose not to let our second-hand clothes in your continent or your country, you're going to suffer. So that if African nation, East African community, even though they sat together to have a discussion about this, and they decided to, influence the local textile companies to grow and be bigger, unfortunately could not do it. Why?
Because I believe the leaders who are being controlled in a lot of African countries, I believe they have been given ultimatums in the things where if you don't follow what you want to do for us, this is what's going to happen for you. But why don't you just say, hey, I know who I am, and I'm not going to do this for the people. But they're not going to say that because we have very greedy, selfish African leaders who don't give a crap about you or me. That's for sure. And you have to understand that.
Right. They weighed the possibility, the pros and the cons. It's just so that, you know what, you don't want to be a bad friend of America. Okay?
Hello, General Mosquito. How are you doing today? Happy Friday. You're saying the West offering African countries second-hand clothes is really them just testing the waters to see if we're still docile and asleep. I definitely agree with you, but we are definitely winding up with that conversation. I had a lot to share, but time has gone really fast. So definitely share this on Monday with maybe a good guest in the house. But remember, download our app on the Google Play Store, stream on www.blackhotfireradionetwork.com for amazing healthy supplements, apparel clothing with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it. Please remember to drink lots of water, eat your fruits and vegetables, and remember to order yourself some ashwagandha.
Discover the natural power of ashwagandha, an ancient herb known for its healing properties. For over 3,000 years, ashwagandha has been trusted to reduce stress, increase energy, and improve focus. Our ashwagandha is carefully grown, harvested, and processed to retain its maximum potency. Each root is hand-picked and dried, then ground into a pure organic powder, ensuring the highest quality. Simply mix 1 teaspoon into your favorite beverage or take it in capsule form as prescribed by a healthcare professional. Whether you're looking to balance your stress levels, boost your immune system, or enhance mental clarity, ashwagandha offers a natural solution. Experience the benefits of ancient wisdom backed by modern science. Trust nature. Trust ashwagandha. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
$23.90, super affordable. Remember, you are the change you need to see in the world. I am, because you are always talking about redefining Africans as we redefine ourselves, because we need to reclaim everything that has been stolen and eroded away from us. And before I wind up, let's listen in to this.
The world isn't fair. It never has been. But fairness is a story we tell the naive to keep them in line. The truth? Power doesn't belong to those who deserve it. It belongs to those who seize it. And that, my friend, requires a willingness to do what others won't. If you are not following House of Cards, you may never see us again. The world isn't fair. It never has been. But fairness is a story we tell the naive to keep them in line.
You're now listening to the best music.
Have a fabulous weekend, family. I'm sending you so much love and light this beautiful afternoon. Have a fabulous weekend, General Mosquito. I appreciate you.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Here is Andrew Robinson, intermittent brother all the way in Switzerland. I'm reaching out to all of my brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to...
You're now listening to the best music.